Hello, good people. How are you? Yes, I mean, you guys are probably not really saying this, but 7:21 and my ass is in bed. You know, when the seasons change, my sleep change. I'm tired all the time, and it's not even the heart of winter yet. I mean, we haven't even did daylight savings yet. I'm not looking forward to none of it. Okay, hold on. Whew. Okay. I have already shit showered and shaved. Well, you can imagine which one I actually did because I'm in the bed and I just changed the sheets. So I'm feeling very tranquil and peaceful, ready to go to sleep. But before I do, I have to finish my little chai tea latte. I'm not a coffee girl, but definitely gets down with my chai tea latte. And my ass went and got a fucking apple croissant. Why did I do that? Look, let me just tell you something right quick. Women, your body will turn on you at some point in time. I'm getting ready to come on my period, and this whole week, I said, fuck the gym. I have been eating shit that I'm not supposed to eat. Pork rinds. I don't even eat pork. I have ate pork rinds, Skittles, and motherfucking Starburst. Why am I eating Starburst? I know they're full of GMOs. I know I'm trying to lose weight. And here I am, drinking and eating a bunch of sugar at night. I'm from Chicago, so we kind of don't already complete our words. We kind of cut it like at that 80% mark. So I'm going to try to speak slowly and clearly. However, I can't make any promises because I'm still a Chi-Town girl. So we're gonna get into this recap. You know what? Hold please. Let me go warm up my croissant. Hold on, my croissant. Oh, that's giving me Shaw's of Sunset. Oh, I liked him. What was his name?
Request a buttery chocolate croissant.
Remy? No, I think I'm definitely thinking about a different show. I'm thinking about Sinners.
Sammy.
Let me go warm this up. All right, I had to go warm it up. I did the regular ghetto trick of putting it in the microwave in hopes to keep it warm, and it didn't do the trick. But I was in a tub for a really long time. Sorry. Oh, just flakiness. Look at the. So anyway. Okay, I've ate my croissant. So, Miss Cicely, I think we left off with her and her insecurities about her body. So at 8, Cicely looked at herself as less than pretty. I don't want to say ugly, but she had some dysmorphia about her looks. She felt she had skinny stick legs, short thin hair, and since she came out the womb and sucked her thumb all through her childhood, she had less than perfect teeth. Her mom would try to do everything to stop her from sucking her thumb. She would wrap it up with gauze. She would tell her they would fall off, and Cicely continued to suck that damn thumb. I've heard it's like a mental thing. She said, as a result, her two front teeth turned to greet one another and have since held their positions there. But no one can say it quite like Cicely does.
My two front teeth turned to greet one another and have since held their positions.
Cicely was a quiet child, and although she was quiet, she was very observant and curious. She was always asking why. Very inquisitive, she studied people, she studied their feet, their gait. She looks at people's shoes before she looks at their face. When I was younger, that is something that I used to do. I would look at guys' shoes. I only did it to men. So I guess I was some type of, sorry, my nose is itching. So maybe I'm some type of male misogynist, but yeah, I would look at their shoes, and if their shoes wasn't up to par, I'd be like, Now I don't care because I know it's more to a man than what the hell shoes he got on his feet. Hell, he could be working at some construction site bringing in 6 figures. So, although I'm not a 6-figure girl, I don't give a fuck about any of that because the more money you make, sometimes the more asshole-ish. I have grown, and I understand that just because someone has money doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to treat you good. So, pick your poison is all I'm saying. Cicely was a deep chestnut brown in a nation that considers the darker sister the less attractive one.
No one had to tell me that the fairer your skin and the narrower your nose and lips, the more stunning you were considered. Caucasian women were upheld as the standard of beauty, while our features were denigrated. In print media, black hair was portrayed as unkempt, a crop of wild, irascible wool that required taming. My mother and other black women were mostly invisible to whites, and when they did see us, it was through the cracked and muddied lens of racial bias. In their view, and in their advertisements, we were mammies and maids, subservient and ignorant, filthy and lazy, and yet somehow diligent, clean, and honorable enough to prepare their meals and rear their children. At best, our presence was tolerated or ignored. At worst, we were systematically locked out of home ownership and wealth creation, redlined into ghettos, and lynched. Our intelligence and very humanity were questioned, considered genetically unfit. The lie of black inferiority was built right into America's infrastructure, and to this day, that framework remains stubbornly intact. Given my dark complexion, I spotted no future for myself as a pinup girl.
Now, that's kind of the issue that we are experiencing now.
Bitch, I'm racist, which I'm not. But like, it's just kind of like how y'all been shoving down people's necks with Lupita. And I'm not saying she's like, but I'm not saying that. I just feel like I hate that when it comes to black girl beauty standards, y'all always pick the struggle. Y'all always pick the struggle black girl who can't even compete when it comes to like statistics or standards to be like, that's a pretty bitch.
Although Cicely felt this way about her complexion and her looks, her father would always try to compliment her, make her feel like she's beautiful, like fathers are supposed to do. The father is supposed to be your first love. Like the way that he makes you feel about yourself helps you dictate what type of man you are going to attract in the future. Although her father affirmed her all the time and tried to make her know and make her feel like she was beautiful, she still didn't feel pretty. And she felt this way about herself because she would always hear these insults on the playground. Skinny, nappy head, and the one word that is never late, nigga, but hardy are. She even ended a friendship with a little Italian boy who she always played with because he lived in the neighborhood. They went to the same school. Little Timmy comes to school one day and asks Cicely if she wants to hear a little poem. So he has this little grin on his face. I guess that's the first step of being a jackass. They come with that little weird ass smirk on their face. I can just imagine the little look he had on his face when he walked his foot up to that damn school. So he's like, Cicely, do you want to hear this poem? And so Cicely's like, yeah, Timmy, let me hear this poem you got. And so this boy decided to part his thin, pale lips to say, God made the niggas. He made them at night. He was in a hurry and forgot to make them white. At the big age that I'm at, I probably would have some choice words for Mr. Timmy. Something to the effect of, God may have made the niggas, but he didn't make us dumb. You keep talking that shit, I'm gonna make your motherfucking lip go numb, because I'm gonna bang it on this motherfucking floor. Cicely wasn't new to racism. Kids don't get a chance to be kids. We can talk about Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin. You have to learn how to navigate very quickly when you are a child of color. So Cicely, not being new to racism, she pretty much saved face. Like, she didn't give away that he had pissed her the fuck off. But she just instantly cut that friendship off, and I don't blame her. This wasn't among the first. This is one of the ones that she just encountered that she spoke about in this book. Cicely's earliest memory was the spring of 1927, where she remembers walking with her mother and her siblings, one hand holding her mother's left hand and the other hand, you guessed it, in her mouth. They went to go visit some of her mother's friends in Hell's Kitchen. The first chapter of her life began at 219 East 102nd in an area called the East Side Slums. Now it has been regentrified to be called East Harlem. And in this area, immigrants move here so that they can lift their children's prospects. Their children can live a better life than what they did. Now, although Cicely was poor, she had what they needed. Their food was supplemented with food stamps and government cheese. And then they also had the healthy food from their father's fruit and veggie cart. Now, the mother was a masterful seamstress, so I'm thinking Tina Knowles. Like, she's out there making beautiful gowns out of scraps of fabrics. They ate well, they dressed well, and then the mother was also a bomb-ass cook. Like a Dookie Chase, because some of the foods that she was describing in this damn chapter, I was like, I need to know how to make okra and cornmeal mush. She made this shit sound so goddamn good. Although her area was racially mixed, it was mainly Italians. This is before Italians and Jewish people were assimilated to whiteness, because when Italians first got here in the early 18th century or 17th century, they was the niggas. They were treated horribly. So it really, especially the Southern Italians, which were the Sicilians. So it really behooves me to see how some people look at us like the Antichrist. When you were treated, you and your ancestors have been treated like shit before you, so you should know how that feels. But I digress. When you walk through their neighborhood, you could see the poverty. You see hookers who is trying to get they shake that ass for that, you know, that dollar from the guys that's getting off work. Broken bottles, empty lots, broken bottles in empty lots, homelessness. Poverty has an odor. And this was 1927. They're right on the verge of the Great Depression. And I'm pretty sure that smell of depression also smelled like desperation. She talks about how hard her parents worked. Her mom worked in the Bronx for various white families, and the dad was whipping Nene in his car all over 101st and 102nd Avenue with his business partner, a Mr. Taylor. Now, on the weekends, the mom would help her husband at his fruit and veggie cart. Although I don't know how the fuck she did that, because I'm tired after working an 8-hour shift. I'm over here sipping on a latte at 8 o'clock at night. Now, of course, they had neighbors. Nana is a woman that her mother befriended. And since Cicely and them, they never knew their grandparents, Nana became like a grandmother to her. Beale, who was an elder who lived close by, became Cicely's godmother. So with all of these people, Nana, Beale, her mom and dad, there was always somebody that was watching them. Most times, if you are living in poverty, whatever you have, you are trying to keep it to the best of what you possibly can. So they kept an immaculate home. That shit was spick and span. They lived in a 3-room apartment. The mom and dad had the bedroom, of course. Until 9, the 3 of them slept together in a queen rollaway bed. They would wake up in the morning, put the rollaway bed away, and get ready for school. Across from the bed was the kitchen. In the corner was a clawfoot tub. Do you know how blessed they was to have a clawfoot tub? I just got out the tub. It ain't clawfoot. They would wash in the tub, of course, and then they would also wash their clothes by hand with the washboard. Now, our washing machine broke down a few times. And waiting for the repairman to come out to the house, my mother was like, hey, I brought a washboard. This is what we used to use when I was down south. Baby, we are not our ancestors. Y'all, when y'all say that, y'all meaning it in the reverse, but y'all are definitely not your ancestors. When you are scrubbing on that washboard, you know what you're also scrubbing? Your knuckles. Your knuckles gonna be raw. We really have to be careful when we talk about that. We not our ancestor shit, because they was dealing with some tougher circumstances than TikTok going away. In the other corner sat an ice box with a small mirror, and the top compartment was used for ice that was wrapped in a canvas bag. I cannot, now that's some good ass quality right there. You're not letting the chemicals from the plastic seep into your ice. This is a canvas bag. Can you imagine walking down the street with a canvas bag full of ice? So on Saturday, they would do the chores. She would sweep and mop. And when she got older, her mom included them windows. I haven't washed a window in a really long time. They make me seem like I'm just, I keep an ill-kept house. So I think I washed our balcony windows once because I can't reach the outside windows. So they just do what they do. And so the rain washed the damn windows. But when you're poor, two of the few things you can control is appearance and surroundings. And both of those things has to be tip-top shape. The dirty underwear was to be removed and the panties were to be washed and hung, I guess, over the clawfoot tub. And her mother would check to see if them panties were washed every night. I'm sorry, that is so, like, her mama was not playing no damn games. And there were some times where Cicely did not get her ass up and wash them panties, and her mother would be like, hey, where are your panties? And she'd be like, nah. Cicely said she used to have them damn panties sometimes. Girl, you got one pair of panties. You can't hide your panties. Your mama looking for them one damn pair of panties. Cicely had a typical childhood where you respect your elders. There is no, what she call it, sassing. Ain't no sassing. If there was, you getting the belt, which I don't think kids get anymore. I think they do that gentle parenting shit that don't work. They were not to do any talking back. And then if you talk back, then you get the backhand. So whatever little shit that you may have wanted to say, you say it in your head because you don't want to get your head cracked. Their mother kept close tabs on them because one false move, and even though this was the North, like Smoke said, Chicago ain't nothing but Mississippi with tall buildings. So in New York, I'm pretty sure that was the same thing. So Cicely, since Cicely was always sick, or at least her mother always thought she was sick, her mother would always keep eyes and keep tabs on her. She would always find a way to make Cicely stay in the house. Her brothers and sister can go off and play, and her mother be like, I think you're coming down with the cold. I think you should stay in the house with me. And Cicely like, God damn, like I want to get out of this house. I want to go live. She wanted to get out and escape her mom. It was like, Cicely never could get any reprieve. There was one time when she got chicken pox. Her father wanted her to take a spoonful of kerosene and sugar. These home little remedies, she said she started bleeding from everywhere. Her nose, her mouth, her eyes, her ears. Bruh. Kerosene? Back in 1927, you know, that's super pure. That's uncut kerosene. One time she had got an infection on her arm, and her mom is like, okay, we're going to get some brown soap, put it in a rag, warm it up, and we're going to put it on the bump. But it didn't do anything to help the pain that she was feeling. She had a boil. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she had a boil. So her dad comes home, and he's like, I got this can of black salve and a gauze. I'm going to make a little tourniquet or whatever, and we're gonna put it on the bump. And as soon as he puts the gauze on the bump, it bursts. And so the mom was mad because he had came up with a remedy to help her feel better, and she didn't. Like, what type of petty motherfuckers are y'all like right now? Your daughter's in pain. Who gives a fuck who came up with the goddamn remedy? Did you get the remedy? So it was always something that the parents would be concerned about her, because something was always happening to her. This chicken pox, the boils, the heart murmur. So when Cicely could get a chance, she would sneak out and she would swear her siblings to secrecy. And like most of us, we would be out doing our wrong shit. You sneak out and you make it back in just enough time before your mama come home. So many times we've snuck out the house and we get back in and like legit 5 minutes later, we see my mom pull up. We're like, oh shit, like, do you know how close we were to getting our ass whooped? Her mother felt like her grandmother Carol's spirit would never rest because it found a place in Cicely. Because Cicely was a wanderer, just like her grandmother Carol. Cicely felt like she had a sense of autonomy, like she belonged to herself, but her mother said, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. And I'll knock you out if you keep thinking that you belong to you. You belong to me. They were to get an education, excel in their studies. They felt like at that time when school was free, they felt like education was a passport out of poverty. Now, Cicely says that one of her teachers, Miss Sullivan, would walk past her and like also reaffirm her saying, you ought to be in show pictures. And so maybe those words were the spell that she needed to predict her future. Whenever they would come home, they was met with a question just like we were. Where's your homework? So they would take off their good school clothes, put on their, around the house clothes, sit at the table and do their lessons. Only after their homework is done are they allowed to watch some TV. Now, when she told me this, I was just like, what the entire fuck? We got some shows too that I feel like are T-rash. And until you actually go back and think about it, like, we was watching this shit. I wasn't watching this shit, but I know my guy told me about Dukes of Hazzard. Y'all watching Confederate motherfuckers who is on the side of Confederacy. They do not fuck with y'all, and they sitting down watching Dukes of Hazzard. Cicely's Dukes of Hazzard was a show called Amos and Andy. This was a show that was created in the 1920s and 30s where two white actors played poor black farmers who leaves their land in Georgia, goes north to Chicago with $24 in their pocket, and clock this: 4 ham and cheese sandwiches.
You niggas cooking?
We sure are. There's some leftover bacon if you'd like some.
Ooh, none for me. I know better than to get between a nigga and their pork. Might get my fingers bit.
Stereotypical like a motherfucker. They might as well should have had them with a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Ham and cheese. They know niggas love their pork. But in that era, I feel like I have to keep saying that, but in that era, they was thirsty for representation and they accepted whatever they could get. Like, here, we gonna sprinkle y'all. Here you go. Here goes something for y'all to watch. Here you go on TV. But it's really 2 white damn actors. They would watch these shows just because they were so hungry for representation, even if the depictions were racist. After they would finish this racist ass show called Amos and Andy, they would eat dinner and do their chores. She would clean her drawers. She would clean up them little panties she had on, them little stanky panties. No, I'm just playing. That's what your mama always do. Just clean them little stanky panties. So she would clean her panties and roll into bed. This is the part where Cicely started talking about this damn food. So once they go to sleep and all that stuff, the mother wakes up the next morning to cook their food for the next day. Oh my God. This woman made the mashed potatoes sound so motherfucking good.
We'd usually awaken to the aroma of Mom's cooking. My mother was some kind of cook. The smell of her okra and cornmeal mush always made my mouth water. Her macaroni and cheese has yet to be rivaled by any other I've tasted, though I'm sure my mother's version contained enough condensed milk to trigger a diabetic coma. On weekdays, she'd prepare our lunch before she went to work, stirring up a souffle of creamy mashed potatoes, made all the more fluffy because she whipped in a soft-boiled egg. She'd slide a mound of those potatoes on a plate, put 3 pats of butter on top, wrap it up tight, and set it on our radiator to keep it warm. School was close by, so we had time to race home and eat at noon. By 10 a.m. during math class, I'd already be dreaming of those potatoes. When I charged through our apartment door, they'd be there waiting for me on the radiator, the butter cascading down into a golden pool on the plate's outer rim.
Is that not making you hungry? She says that her mother never looked at a recipe. She made everything from scratch. Now, her mom was the first trad wife. We're going to end here because this is the end of the chapter of Stringbean. And the next chapter will be Church Girl, which is so good. Okay, so we are definitely getting into like maybe 10-12-year-old Cicely. So I'm hoping that you are enjoying this book, and I'll see you next week. Peace.